They say like the 17th time is the charm, so here we go. Welcome to West Virginia University. My name is Olivia Harvey, and I'm a first-year graduate student in Dr. Claire St. Peter's Applied Behavior Analysis Research Lab. Today, I'm going to take you on a tour of some of our facilities here at the Life Sciences Building and also introduce you to my lab mates. So let's go. Here we are on the second floor of the Life Sciences Building. This is where most of the behavior analysis faculty and student offices are. Right now, we're headed to the end of this hall to check out Claire's lab space. Here we are. Welcome to our lab space. Our lab space is divided into 3 rooms. The first is entirely padded to conduct research with individuals who engage in challenging behavior. And of course, there's a 2-way mirror to allow for data collection. This is our main lab space. Of course, we highlight our publications, have computers and printers to do work and collect data, and like any other lab space, lots of file cabinets to store our research. The final room is multi-purpose. You can use this room for a variety of reasons. This past semester, with COVID-19, one of our main research endeavors has been conducting human operant research, as it allows us to remain socially distanced and safe during this time.
Hey Olivia.
Hey Stephanie. What are you up to today?
I have a bunch of consultations that I do through my telehealth clinic, and then I'm here to enter in some data.
Can you tell me what it's like to be the director at your clinic Behavior Learning and Intervention Services?
Sure. So what it was initially supposed to be like was me running an in-person clinic, but as you know, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed a lot of things. So now I'm doing primarily parent training. So I do large parent trainings for people in West Virginia that they come to virtually. And I also do one-on-one parent consultations. So it's been a really nice way for me to grow my skills with parents and to kind of get acquainted with telehealth.
That's awesome. What were some of the experiences you had at WVU that prepared you to run a clinic?
Yeah, well the good news is that I'm still not alone when I'm running the clinic. Just as a little caveat, Claire does consult with me monthly about my supervision practices, as well as I have a director who's a developmental psychologist who helps me kind of just with the day-to-day logistics of running the clinic. But some of the experience that I had that helped me get my BCBA credential at WVU, well there's a few of them because I actually got lucky and sampled basically every practicum opportunity that we have to offer. The first is that I provided behavior consultation and direct services at our alternative education program, GUIDES. GUIDES serves primarily typically developing elementary-aged youth with severe problem behavior. That's a really cool experience because A, I got to be in a school, and B, we don't always in behavior analysis get the opportunity to work with kids who are typically developing with severe problem behavior, so I found that really beneficial. It also kind of like expanded my interest area beyond autism to anybody with severe problem behavior. From there, I worked as a school-based consultant for a program called Beacon. With Beacon, essentially, I was assigned clients that had severe problem behavior in the Monongalia County public school system, and I worked directly with them to try to identify treatments, develop behavior intervention plans, run functional analyses, etc. And then I trained their teachers to run the plans and did some data monitoring and analysis. After Beacon, I was a teacher coach through a program called eCrisp. And essentially what I did was work directly with teachers on classroom management strategies and skill acquisition techniques to help enhance the learning and effectiveness of their classrooms for kids with disabilities and behavior disorders.
Out of all of those positions, which one was your favorite and why?
It's a really hard question. I think that I liked all of them for really different reasons. I really love working out at GUIDES because they really emphasize you being able to do research as well. So So that's something that I hold really fondly in my heart. It's where I did my master's thesis as well. But I do think my favorite position is probably where I'm at now, which is running the Behavior and Learning Intervention Services Clinic. I found it really wonderful and fulfilling to work directly with parents. I'm also serving some grandparents who end up taking care of their grandkids, and I feel like I'm learning a lot about like West Virginia and the needs of people in West Virginia, which is cool.
Great, thank you so much for sharing, Stephanie.
Thanks for running into me in the lab today, Olivia.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Bye. Now we're going to tour a graduate student office.
Hello, I didn't see you there.
Hi, Katherine.
Hi.
Can we ask you a couple questions?
Of course, come on in.
Awesome. How are you today?
I'm doing all right.
That's good. What are you working on?
Well, I'm just working on some stuff to show Claire during our supervision meeting tomorrow.
Can you tell me a little bit about Claire's mentoring style?
Oh, of course. Claire is an amazing mentor, truly. She really focuses on making sure that in your short time here, be it 4 or 5 years, you gain all the skills that you need to succeed in whatever positions you are. So she's constantly kind of guiding you to do things that are going to help you build those skills, which is really nice. She also makes it so that you can do research that's really specific to what you want to do, even if it doesn't necessarily align with her current projects.
How often would you say you meet with Claire on a weekly basis?
Probably, well, every week, no matter what, I meet with her for 1 hour live just to catch up, talk about whatever I need to talk about. That's my supervision meeting that I'm preparing for. But typically I also see her during other meetings, be it lab meetings or classes or practicum meetings, so I probably end up seeing her at least 3 or 4 hours a week.
And can you tell me a little bit about this graduate office space we're in?
Oh yeah, of course. I love our offices here. They're super nice. They each have 3 students in it, and they purposely try to arrange it so that you're with students that are outside of your program. So like most offices don't have more than 1 person in behavior analysis, which is really nice. It means I can like shout across the room if I need help on SPSS, or they might come in here with a question about single subject research and conditioning. It's really a nice way to make friends across areas and also learn some new skills.
I totally agree. And you have a great view.
Oh my gosh, yes. The best view. Especially when it snows, it's absolutely beautiful out here.
I agree. Well, thanks for sharing, Katherine.
Yeah, nice seeing you.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's see if Claire's in her office.
Hey, Olivia.
Hey, Claire, do you have a minute?
Sure, come on in.
I'm making that video for interview weekend.
Are you excited for interview weekend?
I'm so excited for interview weekend.
Did I ever tell you about my first interview weekend?
No, you didn't.
So you would think that my first interview weekend would have been as a faculty member here, interviewing other applicants. But actually my first interview weekend was as an interviewee. So I came and applied. I applied to 2 schools for graduate school, UF and WVU, and that was it. And so my very first interaction with WVU was at interview weekend, where I got paired with one of the current student hosts and went through the same experience that all of our interviewees have done, which has been that experience for almost 20 years. That was almost 20 years ago.
That's crazy.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's interesting to think about how the impacts of that interview have had, like, it's almost like this sitcom-y chain of events. So my host at interview weekend, I am still friends with, even though really the only major interactions that we had was like I stayed at her house at interview weekend and she was my interview weekend host. But we're still professional colleagues. And following interview weekend, I joked with Andy that if interview weekend didn't work out and grad school here didn't work out, that I was going to come back and haunt them as a faculty member, right? That I was going to work at WVU in some way. And really, honestly, joking, never thought that that would actually happen. And then when I was getting ready to graduate with my PhD, a position opened at WVU.
It's perfect.
It was perfect. It was like weirdly perfect. And one of those things where I thought, I have a snowball's chance of getting this job, right? Like, I don't even have my PhD yet. I am applying to work at WVU, of all places. But you can't not apply.
Of course not. No.
So threw my hat in the ring, fully expecting to be disappointed, and was over the moon when I got an interview. I can tell you it's like one of those flashbulb memories. Like I can tell you where I was when I got the call. So I got the call from Mike to interview. And I was standing in a Burger King, like standing in line. There were 4 people in front of me. One of my really good friends from grad school, Elizabeth Athens, was like standing in front of me. We're at Burger King. I got this phone call. And was just so thrilled to be offered a position here. And that was 15 years ago almost. So that was in 2005. I interviewed here again to be a faculty member, and have been here ever since. And I think that it's all those people that have made the experience so positive, all the way from my very first interview weekend as an interviewee to today. Like it's the opportunity to work with people like Andy and Mike and Karen and Katie and all the fabulous grad students every day that like makes me excited, not just about interview weekend. Makes me more excited about interview weekend, but like all of the cascade of events that happen after interview weekend and all of the people that you get to meet at interview weekend, that is so cool. So I think it's fun for you to be on the other side of the interview for your first time, and really, I think, hopefully fun for all of the interviewees too, to get a chance to meet everybody, because you never know how things are going to play out.
Yeah, hearing how you're talking about this is making me really excited for interview weekend too.
Well, I think it's going to be a fun time, and you're going to get to meet a lot of fun people. So maybe some of them will even watch this.
Maybe. Thanks for chatting, Claire.
See you later, Olivia.
Bye. Here we are on the first floor of the Life Sciences building. This is where our psychology department office is. Here we have our copy room. And here we have our department office. Our office staff is amazing. Hi. We also have a kitchen. And mailboxes for all of our faculty and students. That's all I have for you guys here at the Life Sciences building. Now I'm going to pass it off to Claire, who's going to give you a tour of Guides.
Welcome to the Guides facility. This is one of our practicum placements and a site for research, and particularly for people in the St. Peter lab. So Guides is an alternative education center. It has 4 classrooms, and this first classroom is our 345 classroom and is staffed by a board certified behavior analyst, Kara Shamai. All of our classrooms have just a limited number of students that allows us to provide intensive behavioral supports and one-to-one individualized instruction that are all based on behavior analysis. Now, right now, because of COVID-19, we're providing primarily remote instruction and services, but that still includes behavior intervention plans and academic assessments. So K1-2 classroom, our teacher, Jenny Cox, also a board certified behavior analyst.
As soon as you fix that one, go ahead to the next page. It should have, the first box should have a dog and a cat.
This is our pre-K classroom, home to the Pieces program. Right now, our pre-K classroom is being used by 2 of our interns, Sophie and Lexi, who are working on fluency-based instruction for some of our kids who are doing remote learning. And so they're actually doing precision teaching, complete with standard acceleration charting and fluency timings, all remotely through Google Classrooms. And finally, our special education classroom. Currently with instruction by one of our teachers, Mr. Ribas. Just doing a quick little video. Who is delivering our one-to-one special education instruction and our boxes of PPE, thanks to COVID-19. And so this is just a quick tour of the Guides facility. Again, this is one of our research and practicum placements for students in the behavior analysis program.